Hey, what's going on everybody? It's your favorite introvert here, and today we're going to be talking about the Dolly Zoom Effect and how you can incorporate it into your videos to make some certain shots stick out and to differentiate the shot from all the other ones. Overall, an interesting edit to include into your videos and part of your work. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, the first thing I want to do is make sure that I am in 4K. I like the 3840 by 2160. So I set my camera to 4K, 60 frames per second. I go back, make sure that I'm MP4 and true color. Sometimes I like to do it in D-Log, or the majority of the time I like to do it in D-Log just so that I can pull as much detail out as possible. I'm in H.264 for the encoding or the codec. And for my style settings, I'm in +1 for sharpness, -2 in contrast, and -2 in saturation. And of course, we can always go back into post and change that. White balance is set to, we'll set it to cloudy because there are some clouds in the area. And I'm going to change my aperture and make sure that I get the histogram into the center of the frame there. Remember, your ISO is automatically set to 500 while you're in D-Log. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take off.
Take off.
So basically this water tank here with this background looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up where I think I should be. And for this effect, we're gonna do the Dolly Zoom, which means we are going to be flying forward, filming, and we will stretch the background out in post. So let's go ahead and do a nice smooth, slow and steady flight forward, making sure that we get our subject and our target nice and in frame. Awesome, there we go, that will work. And also we'll do the Dolly Zoom out, which we will fly backwards, keeping our subject centered, and we should have the water truck as well as little box steer or whatever you want to call it there, and we will have it like so. Alright, so we'll be able to use that in post. Again, you can do this as high or low as possible, but I like to do it low so we can get as much detail. If we were lower in altitude, we'd have to worry about objects being in the way, but we're at a safe altitude here, and as you can see, we'll just fly straight to these trees. So that looks good there. Now, not only can this style of edit be incorporated into drone videos, it can also be incorporated into handheld or land-based photography and videography as well. So it's, again, like I said earlier, it is an interesting clip, an interesting edit that you can throw into the mix of a montage of some sorts and add that extra little bit of intrigue into your shots. So without further ado, let's get into the editing and I'll show you how I do the Dolly Zoom effect. All right, we have selected our clip here. We are going to do a quick color grade. All right, nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. All right, because we shot in D-Log, we're gonna move away from our flat profile for the video here. So we did a quick color correction and dropped a LUT onto it. And it is actually the one that you can download from DJI's website that is available for the Phantom 4. Anyway, I digress. So we're going to highlight our clip, or make sure our clip's highlighted. We're going to move up to the effects controls. We're going to drop a keyframe. So we're going to want to make sure that our motion is dropped down. Here's the scale. We're going to drop a keyframe on the scale there. We're going to go down to our timeline. We're going to grab the slider here. We're going to press shift. We're going to move to the end of our clip. Basically, I shortened it just a bit. The key is to have it relatively short. You don't want anything too long, too lengthy, and actually 12 seconds is a very long time for this to go on. Anyway, I digress. We're going to drop a keyframe at the end of our clip here. We're going to go back to our original keyframe, and we're actually going to upscale to 200. All right, and once we have it upscaled, we're going to highlight both of our keyframes. Make sure they're highlighted here. We're going to right click, and I'm going to choose ease in. You can use Bezier or you can use continuous Bezier. I just like the ease in effect for what I'm doing right now, and we'll go ahead and play it. And as you can see, the background seems to be moving away as we're moving forward, almost giving like a parallax background effect, but in a dolly zoom view here. So it gives that pretty pretty neat looking effect. And the key is not to overdo it, not to overemphasize your effect. I mean, as you can see in one of my clips during the video as I was shooting earlier, I did it at too much. I scaled up too much, and it almost looked like it was doing nothing. The drone looked as it was standing still, and the background was moving away instead of the drone flying forward as well as the background going away. So make sure that your scale in the beginning is not as drastic. I usually do 200 to 100 and do the ease in, and that gives this effect and it makes it look nice and neat. So this is the dolly zoom in, or the dolly zoom as we're flying forwards. Let's go ahead and take a clip here as one for flying away. We're basically going to do the same thing, except we are going to reverse everything, obviously. So here's our clip. We're going to make sure that we get it. We're going to hit I and then O. We're going to drop it in there. Again, let's go ahead and drop our LUT on it. We're going to do an auto just to get us in the basic arena to where we want to color grade. We're going to check our values here. We're a little underexposed, so let's bring up the exposure value here. Let's increase the blacks so we're not crushing them too much. And that looks better. Not perfect, but better. And that looks pretty good for now. So let's grab and shift click and slide it to the beginning of our clip here. We want to, again, scale. We're going to drop a keyframe, shift slide, drop a keyframe, but let's go ahead and shorten this clip up a bit because it is a little long. All right, so for this, we're going to stay on the last keyframe. We are going to make this 200 scale. Go to the first one, leave it at 100. Highlight both, right click, ease in, and let's see what we got. So as you can see, kind of the reverse effect. The background looks like it's closing in on us as we are moving away. And if we wanted to, let's say, reduce the dramatic effect there, we're going to drop it to 150. And there we go. It is not as dramatic. And we have a nice encroachment of the background as we pull away, again giving a parallax type of feel where the background is moving into the foreground. So that is the dolly effect in and of a quick sense. Again, you can play with this and manipulate it at your will and at your style. Again, that's the beauty of this stuff. You can do it however you feel fit to edit. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I really appreciate the support. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I'll see you next time. See you later.